The fog is lifting. Clarity is calling you forward. Welcome to Forward in Freedom. I'm Tanya Johnson. This is where awareness becomes power. Let's move forward in freedom.
If you watched last week's episode, then you already know. By God's grace, I successfully stood on the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. Reaching the summit was unforgettable. But here's what surprised me. I thought that the summit would be the defining moment of the journey. But what I discovered is that the mountain had been shaping me long before I ever reached the top. It all began with two simple Swahili words, pole pole, slowly, slowly. From the very beginning of the trek, my guide consistently reminded me, pole pole. I quickly learned that this wasn't just a suggestion. It was the proven strategy for climbing Mount Kilimanjaro successfully. Every guide, every porter, every experienced trekking team understands that at high altitude, your pace matters. Without fully realizing it at the time, I was learning far more than a climbing strategy. The mountain was reinforcing life, leadership, and faith principles that I'd been learning for years. But I was seeing them through an entirely different lens. Because while pole pole is essential for climbing a mountain, I came to realize it's also a powerful way to think about building a life that lasts. And today, I want to share why those two simple words have become a compass that will continue to guide me well beyond Kilimanjaro. Because I've realized something. When people look at a summit, they naturally focus on the moment of arrival. But the summit is only the visible part of the journey. Everything that truly mattered happened long before anyone ever reached the top. Most people celebrate the victory. They see the summit photo, the accomplishment, the finish line. Very few people stop to ask, what made the summit possible? Success rarely happens because of one extraordinary moment. It happens because of hundreds of ordinary decisions made consistently. One step, then another, then another. The summit simply revealed what had already been happening for days. And life works the same way. People often admire someone's success without realizing the discipline, the preparation, the patience, the setbacks, and the perseverance that made it all possible. We celebrate the visible result while overlooking the invisible process. The truth is, most people want the summit. Very few are willing to embrace the process that produces it. The summit didn't create success, it revealed it. This is where I think many people misunderstand the principle. Pole pole doesn't mean becoming passive. It doesn't mean procrastinating. It doesn't mean avoiding difficult decisions. It doesn't mean lowering your standards. The guides weren't asking us to become slower people. They were teaching us how to climb wisely. There were moments when we had to make decisions quickly, moments that required courage, moments that demanded focus. Pole pole wasn't removing urgency, it was removing panic. And there's a difference. Because panic makes poor decisions. Wisdom makes purposeful decisions. Poly teaches you to move with intention instead of reaction, to respond instead of rushing, to conserve your strength for what truly matters. How many unnecessary detours have we taken simply because we reacted before we reflected? Poly isn't about slowing your life down. It's about refusing to let panic set the pace. The mountain showed me something that I don't want to forget. The right pace protects your purpose. Move too fast and you burn out before you reach your destination. Move too slowly and you stop making progress. Poly is in the middle. It's intentional. It's steady. It's sustainable. I've lived enough life now to recognize there are seasons when I try to force outcomes. I wanted answers immediately, resolutions immediately, clarity immediately. But looking back, some of the greatest growth in my life couldn't have happened any faster. God wasn't delaying me, He was developing me. Believe me, I know how difficult waiting can feel. But I've also learned that rushed decisions often create longer recoveries. God isn't interested in making us faster. He's interested in making us ready. There are another realizations that were hidden inside Poly. Pace alone isn't enough. You can move slowly in the wrong direction. You can move carefully toward the wrong destination. The pace mattered, but so did the direction. And so did the people walking beside me. No one reaches the summit of Kilimanjaro alone. And I don't believe we're meant to climb life's mountains alone either. The right people remind you why you started. They encourage you when you're tired. They steady you when your confidence begins to waver. Sometimes strength isn't proving that you can carry everything yourself. Sometimes strength is allowing others to walk alongside you because the right pace, the right direction, and the right people can change everything. Freedom isn't just moving slower, it's moving wisely with the right people in the right direction. If today's conversation has you thinking about a mountain that you're facing in your own life, a career decision, a leadership challenge, a relationship, or perhaps you're simply trying to discern your next faithful step, I would love to help you gain clarity. You can visit www.cleardirectioncoaching.com and schedule a complimentary discovery call. Sometimes moving forward begins with one intentional conversation. As this chapter in Tanzania comes to a close, I've realized I'm not simply bringing home photographs or videos or memories. Those are treasures, but they're not the greatest gift this mountain gave me. I'm bringing home a deeper trust in God's timing, a greater appreciation for steady faithfulness, a renewed respect for preparation, a stronger understanding that lasting success is rarely built through dramatic moments. It's built through daily decisions, one faithful step at a time. The mountain reminded me that what is built faithfully will always outlast what is built frantically. And perhaps the greatest realization of all is this: the summit isn't the finish line, it's evidence that the process worked. Because every summit eventually becomes the trailhead for a new journey. So, as this chapter in Tanzania comes to a close, I'm not just bringing home photographs and memories. I'm bringing home a renewed perspective, a deeper trust in God's timing, and a way of living I hope I never will forget. I'm also deeply grateful for this mountain, the people who walk this journey with me, and the experiences that will continue to shape my life well beyond Kilimanjaro. Thank you for allowing me to share this part of the journey with you. The summit isn't the end of the journey, it's proof that the process worked. As you move through this week, I want to leave you with three questions. Where in your life are you allowing panic to dictate your pace? What decision will become clearer if you slow down long enough to seek wisdom instead of simply reacting? And are you building a life that's merely fast or one that's sustainable? Remember, moving forward isn't about speed, it's about moving with purpose. And as you reflect on today's conversation, I'd like to invite you into this week's conversation. Where in your life is God inviting you to embrace poly instead of panic? Share your response in the comments. Your story may be exactly the encouragement someone else needs today. And as we close today, I'd like to introduce what I hope will become a meaningful tradition here on Forward in Freedom. I call it a freedom blessing. May God give you the wisdom to recognize the pace that your current season requires. May He quiet every voice of fear that tells you to rush ahead of His timing. May He strengthen your heart when the journey feels long. May He surround you with people who remind you of your purpose when you begin to doubt yourself. May He give you the courage to take the next faithful step, trusting that He is ordering your path even when you cannot see the summit yet. May you discover peace in His presence, confidence in His promises, and freedom in walking faithfully one step at a time. May His grace go before you. May His strength sustain you. And may His peace remain with you wherever your next journey leads. Thank you, Lord. In our next episode, I'll take you a little farther along the trail and share some of the remarkable things the mountain revealed along the way. From the unique landscape to extraordinary plants that thrive in one of the world's most challenging environments. There was beauty, resilience, and purpose woven throughout their climb. Some of what captured my attention wasn't waiting at the summit. It was quietly unfolding with every step along the path. And I can't wait to share that part of the journey with you. Remember, the summit didn't create success, it revealed it. I'm Tanya J, and this is the work of moving forward in freedom.